Navigate the shadows, embrace the light, and embrace the fog, or not.
It started with a new mirror. My fiancée Clara and I had been redecorating the guest room, and she insisted on this antique mirror she found at a flea market. It was beautiful, an ornate gold-frame piece that added a touch of elegance to the room. We hung it on the wall opposite the window, and for a few days everything seemed perfect. Then things began to change. At first, it was subtle. I'd catch glimpses of movement in the mirror's reflection that didn't match what I saw in the room. A shadow shifting, a light flickering, but nothing concrete. I told myself it was just my imagination, a trick of the eye. One night I was alone in the house. Clara was out with friends, and I decided to finish some work in the guest room. I sat at the desk, my back to the mirror, the glow of my desk lamp casting soft shadows around me. As I worked, I felt a strange sensation, like someone was watching me. I glanced up at the mirror. My reflection looked normal, but something in the background caught my eye. The room behind me was blurry, but there was a dark, indistinct figure standing in the corner. I spun around, but the room was empty. I rubbed my eyes and turned back to the mirror, but the figure was gone. Shaking it off as stress-induced hallucinations, I finished my work and went to bed. That night, I dreamed of the mirror. I saw myself standing in front of it, but my reflection was different. Pale, with hollow eyes and a twisted smile. I woke up, heart pounding, but told myself it was just a bad dream. The next few days, the mirror's presence grew more unsettling. Clara noticed it too. She complained about feeling cold drafts and seeing shadows in the corner of her eye. We both avoided the guest room as much as we could. One evening, Clara suggested we try to get rid of the mirror. I agreed, relieved to finally do something about it. We decided to move it to the basement until we figured out what to do with it. As we carried it down the stairs, I glanced at the mirror's reflection. For a brief moment, I saw a dark, figure-like shape behind us, but when I looked over my shoulder, there was nothing there. We set the mirror down in the basement and covered it with a sheet. That night we slept uneasily, but at least we thought the worst was behind us. Around midnight, I woke up to a low, mournful moan coming from the basement. It was faint but unmistakable. I nudged Clara awake and we listened in fear. The sound grew louder, more desperate, and then abruptly stopped. I couldn't take it anymore. I went downstairs, flashlight in hand, to check the basement. The mirror was still covered with the sheet, but the moaning had turned into whispers, barely audible but distinctly unsettling. I reached out to remove the sheet, but something made me hesitate. The whispers grew louder, turning into a chorus of distorted voices. With a deep breath, I pulled the sheet off the mirror. The reflection showed the basement, but there was something else. Something moving behind us. A figure appeared, its features dark and twisted. It wasn't just in the mirror. It was in the basement with us, its presence pressing down on us. I felt an icy grip around my chest, and the whispers became screams. We scrambled to cover the mirror again and fled upstairs, slamming the basement door shut behind us. That night, Clara and I packed some essentials and left the house. We stayed at a friend's place until we could figure out what to do next. When we finally returned, we found the mirror had vanished. The basement was empty, and the mirror was nowhere to be found. To this day, we don't know what happened to it. We moved out shortly after. unable to shake the feeling that something from that mirror had followed us. Every now and then, when I catch my reflection in a window or a shop mirror, I feel that same cold, unsettling presence. It's a reminder that some reflections reveal more than just our own image. They can show what's lurking just out of sight,